Hello? Can you hear me? Am I coming in okay? Sometimes the connection can be a little bit spotty, so I'm glad that we're coming in clear here. So you responded to the ad, right? Yes, I have 88 questions that I need to ask you, and you signed the waiver, so you know this is not paid. It's strictly volunteer-based, right? Yeah, we just have to double, triple confirm sometimes, because people come on the back end, and also I wanted to clear with you that you're going to answer all of these honestly. Yes, we can't have any lies messing up our research. Oh no, we can't disclose what the research is for. No, that's against the law, actually. It's illegal. So, you're good with everything? I mean, you can't back out now, so great. And I'm gonna write all your answers down with pencil. Yeah, you really don't have a say in that either. So, let's get started. Are your doors currently unlocked? Oh. Are you gonna be home alone for a while? Have you ever had the feeling that someone's watching you, even when you're alone? Could you be sharing your space with something that you can't see? Do you know what's hiding inside the walls of your house? Have you considered it? If you were to destroy the walls of your house, how many paint colors do you think that you would find? Just a rough guess will suffice there, yeah. And, what are you wearing, by the way? Oh no, under that. How many of your actions are just reactions to things that you don't fully understand? Can I speak to the person controlling you for a second? Are you going to keep answering the questions like that? Because I really need you to cooperate. Can you cooperate with me, please? Thank you. Alright, back to you. Are you more of a hunter or a gatherer? How many pounds of chicken have you eaten in your life? Do you know anything about sheep? If you could bleed out any liquid, what would it be? It's a bit of a tough one there. I can give you a second to consider it. There's a lot of liquid options. Bold choice. Did you know that technically your skeleton is always wet? You did know that. Could you live if your shadow just disappeared? Could you still live? What would you do if you were the lone survivor in a plane crash? Your first order of business, let's say. an approximation, or do you have experience? Would you happen to know the average weight of a human soul? Has anyone ever disclosed that intel to you? What would happen to my ashes if I had no family or friends? Mine specifically, yes. What would happen to them? Do dogs understand death? What horrific atrocities would you commit to make your most treasured dream come true? Is there a long list? Please name them all. What would you do? Horrific, yes. Any more? I think I got them all. Have you ever regretted not feeling regret for the outcome of an action you committed? Yes, no remorse. Have you tasted the devil's tongue? Have you tasted it? What flavor are your eyeballs? What flavor? Rhubarb. What happens if you paint your teeth white with nail polish? What would happen if you painted them white with nail polish? Is it okay to boil headphones? Can you boil them? Is it okay? Have you ever considered eating mulch? Mulch. You start hearing whispers from what you believe to be the other side. What are the whispers saying to you? And what will you do with this information? So let's start with what are the whispers saying to you? Let's start there. They're coming from the great beyond, and what would they be saying to you? And what will you do with that information? If you could remove any one person from your past, who would it be? Just remove them. As you know, human beings have 5 senses. If you wanted to torture someone, which would you strip away, and how would you do that? Yeah. Yes, you heard me correct. Which sense would you strip away? And how? Do you know if you can sell a kidney in Australia? Do you know? Have you ever met a child that you just hated? Detest? Do you think pedophiles can be nice people? Under which circumstances would you punch yourself? What would the occasion be? Is it possible to get a splinter out of your eye? Does time left on the microwave bother you? Can you really get stuck in a vent? What happens if you get stuck in a revolving door? Why can you see under the bathroom stalls in American public restrooms? Why do English teachers get pregnant so easily? Do birds flirt? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Birds. Do they flirt? Can birds bring down an airplane? Are people who claim to have been abducted by aliens telling the truth? Is it a fabrication or a cry for attention? How much of what you see is just a reflection of what you want to see? Can you trust your own thoughts if you're always second-guessing them? Can your thoughts eat each other? How many advertisements were you exposed to before you could say your first word? Are you controlling the algorithm, or is the algorithm controlling you? How much does the internet really know about you? Are you sure your phone isn't being tracked? How often do you think someone is watching you through your phone camera or your computer camera? How about your car camera? Are there any hidden cameras in your home? What if someone's using your identity without you knowing it? Do you think there's anyone waiting for you to slip up? Are you sure that your neighbors don't know more about you than you think? Would you trust a robot if it told you that it had a soul? If your body was taken over by someone else, would you still be yourself? Why does it feel so unnatural when you hear your own voice played back to you? How much of your DNA is not really yours? What would your first reaction be if you looked in the mirror and you saw your reflection moving independently? Now let's say you didn't look in the mirror for 50 years. When you finally did see your reflection 50 years later, would you recognize it? Could you love someone who was a perfect replica of yourself? Could you survive for a year without being touched? How long would it take you to go crazy living in a room without windows or doors? Crazy. Which way do you eat corn on the cob? Which way do you eat it? Show me, please, yeah. What's actually in the food that you're eating? What are all those ingredients? What do you think is in the gunk that collects on your toothbrush? How many times has someone gone in your trash can and consumed the food that you didn't finish? Do you have any clue? Just how clean is your local swimming pool? Approximately how many mites are living on your body right now? Little mites. How much of the human body is actually you, and how much of it is just bacteria? How many ants could you fit inside your stomach before they start crawling out? What's the real reason we have eyebrows? What's the real reason there? Have you ever wondered if you could accidentally die from choking on a piece of your own hair? Would you ever be able to trust someone who could read your thoughts? Have you checked your back seat before driving lately? What would it feel like if your bones suddenly became rubber? If you could delete your emotions, would you become a different person entirely? How much of your personality is just a defense mechanism? What if the people you think you're closest to aren't real at all? How much of your life is just a series of distractions from the truth? How much of your life is influenced by someone else's secret agenda? Do you ever wonder if your dreams are someone else's memories? Would you age differently if you had no memories? Could you live with the knowledge that you've already lived this life before? How many lives do you live before you lose count? Do you want to know why you can only see me in the moonlight? Well, thank you very much for those course. And thank you